So do you want to start to present Cardashift? Who are Cardashift?
Yeah, so nice to meet you all. I'm Anaïs, or Anna, as you want, and I'm working in Cardashift. So quickly, Cardashift is a launchpad based on Cardano, and we are aiming to help real-world projects, so with an environmental or social impact, to leverage blockchain technology for their big business to grow, for their impact to be bigger. And the deep objective is to find the ways that the whole blockchain can really be leveraged to maximize the impact of a project, and especially the environmental social impacts. The launchpad itself, we released our launchpad early May with our first batch, our first cohort of projects, with 10 projects, environmental social ones. The launchpad is aiming to have a community governance system. So the club holders have been able to vote for their favorite projects during a month. And early June, the 2 projects elected by the community have been elected. And so we are starting the support of these 2 projects, which are, for you to know, Pixo and Revolt. So Pixo is a system of reusable containers to replace the disposable containers, especially, for instance, in their biggest client today is McDonald's in France. So they are replacing all the disposable containers of McDonald's in France with reusable ones. And Revolt is about electrification of cars and creating a whole system of garage and e-mechanicians to be able to recycle, recycle electric cars for them to last longer, because today the electric cars are lasting really a few years and are directly thrown away because it's difficult to repair them. However, they are more sustainable. So these 2 projects have been selected, and we are supporting them to leverage blockchain technology for the activity. And so we will first raise funds with them, emitting a token, and then accelerating them to follow up on their impact clearly, follow up on their business to grow, etc. And yeah, that's what Cardashift aims to do. And in this company, I'm like, maybe a bit of background. I'm an engineer in France, specialized in sustainability. So I was more into the impact side. I've been involved a lot on the impact assessment framework and the impact measurement framework, the sourcing of the project also, what I've done. And now since May, June, clearly on how we can create and the impact community. So the impact community has to start to understand how they can leverage blockchain technology and the blockchain world and the blockchain world, the blockchain ecosystem. I think must start to understand what are the next key topics, fields where blockchain technology as an enabler can be used. And we deeply think that real world projects and environmental sustainable impact, social one also, is one of the biggest challenge of all future. So today creating these frameworks between these 2 worlds, working a lot more, because since the beginning we have been really turned to the blockchain technology, blockchain communities, because it was the beginning. We did an ICO in January, But today we are starting to talk also to the impact world, to the people that are building things in the real world, and talk to them about blockchain as technology, and trying to help them to understand that blockchain isn't just crypto and volatility, etc. So yeah, that's my job at the moment.
So so first, hello to Jane and to Luis. We have new people here. So has someone here have a project that is social, that is relevant to the topic in terms of like social impact, or has someone that kind of project here?
I don't know, you want me to give examples?
No, I'm just asking if someone here has a project that is related. Maybe we can give some kind of case study and see. Anyone here?
I think that's a really good idea. I don't have anything, you know, that I'm working on that kind of meets that, but I mean, I think this is a great project. I really didn't understand it before. And you said that this is also like a launching pad for social impact. Would that include something like humanitarian?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we decided to focus, to prioritize a bit, because it's difficult to talk about environmental and social impact in general. So we decided to focus on 7 themes, 4 environmental and 3 social. So on the social side, it's healthcare, education, and providing the basic financing tools to everyone. And on the environmental side, it's about water, about a clean air, it's about sustainable food supply, and about stable ecosystems, like the marine ones or the one. So it's these 7 teams that Cardashift want to endorse and want to foster. It's basically linked to the human basic needs, as you can see: drinking water, have a stable ecosystem, having a good health care system, having basic financing tools, and that's the 7 teams we focus on, and that all projects have to address. And if you want examples of social projects, I can give you. We are currently.
Oh, well, I'm really interested in, you mentioned healthcare, so I'm kind of interested in what you guys are doing in that.
Okay, that's maybe the more difficult one, I think. On the of those, I think that this one and education was the or two. Okay, so on healthcare, we had 3 or 4 projects that apply for Cardashift that haven't been elected, but there we are greatly talking with them to know how we can blockchain can enter this field. Okay, first it's mainly in fostering research and trying to give a real value to medical research for an open source data to be really valorized, because today there's really a big split between huge health companies, like for the vaccines, for the COVID, you can see that are keeping for themselves their knowledge in general. So it can, and that they are selling, and this is really difficult for the whole world to benefit from this knowledge or pay for it, but it's and another world in the healthcare system, which is the open source researchers in hospitals, in the medical, I don't know, in the medical area around the studies, the universities, etc., which are not okay today. Their value isn't really improved, or it's difficult to value them, and they have difficulties even for funding to have funds. So the ideas in blockchain is to try to find a real, a value to this research, a bit more, equitable for everyone. And we are really thinking that the token, and it's the same for every kind of impact, but we are really thinking that the token itself, a token, can be really more than the traditional financial money, because it can be, a token can be an aggregate of different things and more than just the financial value. So yes, there behind the token you can put a financial value, that's clear, but you can also put maybe impact KPIs, maybe governance rights, maybe I don't know what you want. And because this is written in the blockchain, it's written in code, and that's what we really believe that can foster and value impact in general, to create maybe tokens that can value impact itself, not as an extra financial criteria, but as really a criteria of valuation. I don't know if I'm clear. It's a bit theoretical, but that's part of my research. So
no, I think that's wonderful. It's great.
So Ania, am I pronouncing it properly?
Nice. I know. Okay. I'm okay. My name is Anaïs.
Anaïs.
Yeah, perfect.
So in environmental economics, that is known as an externality cost. So it is as if you all are bringing in those externality costs and encapsulating them, we might say, in the value of the token. So it's a fantastic idea. I love it. And I love the fact that you're being so broad in your approach. You're trying to address many of these different impacts. And I'm assuming you're aligning these with the United Nations Development Goals. Is that okay? That's what I'm hearing. Okay.
Yeah, the SDGs, that was very interesting at the basis when I was working in this, maybe almost alone, creating the 7 teams that I just said. And yeah, at the beginning, start from the SDGs, which is really renowned. And so studying them, I was finding them, okay, they are really great to see a really broad objective for 2030 or maybe even after, but sometimes they are not specific enough. Because they are addressing all topics, even economic growth, for instance. And I was finding that maybe in economic growth, for instance, every single project can enter it. It's like the first target of the 8th SDG, economic growth, is make the GDP of every single country grow 7% a year, I think. And I was thinking that, okay, every single business project that have a business model can participate to this. So it was not like a selecting tool. So we had to prioritize and go back maybe to some more classical topics, and that's why we begin to, we start to go to the human basic needs: drinking, eating, living. And yeah, they are clearly part of the SDGs, and they are clearly aligned with some SDGs, but not the 17 SDGs at all, because they are really broad, and they are not specific enough to select project. Every single project can enter. Well, I was thinking that maybe many projects can enter SDGs. But I'll pleased to debate about this, because SDGs are in a big discussion in many instances.
So I did my initial. I've been around a while, and I did my initial master's thesis in environmental science and worked in engineering consulting. This was all pre-internet days. And then when the internet launched, I sort of pivoted and went into, I did a second master's in cybersecurity. So, and I've taught a lot in the environmental engineering, environmental science arena, but I'm not up with the literature, you know, because I've been working in IT now for almost 25 years. So it's refreshing to hear, for me to hear you talk about this, and for you to be kind of picking up the mantle on making some of this happen.
No, well, I'm really pleased to meet you because yeah, I'm just finishing my master thesis in engineering, specialized in sustainability. So it's like years later, yeah, doing this, and yeah, it's engineering science and environmental science, and so I think greatly changed, and we are already even now seeing changing years by years because of the urgency, because of this great challenge. It's yeah, well,
it's becoming so much more apparent to people as
completely.
they watch the weather patterns around the world and
Mhm.
all of the misery of, you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, clearly today it's impossible to start entrepreneurship or starting any, I think, business project without just thinking about sustainability in the theoretical terms, that how my project will, yeah, be sustainable in a world without, I don't know, without fossil fuels, or it's you must think about this, about energy, about how it's produced. Or today it's impossible to do without, or your business will clearly not be funded first, and then yeah, not be sustainable.
So could I explain a little bit about a proposal that I have in Fund 9?
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to have you guys hear about it and check it out and see what you think. Oh, by the way, Megan, I love your cat's
Yeah,
cat's dialogue there. Great. Okay, so I put a link here to my proposal if you guys want to go in. It's in the cross-chain collaboration section. And it's, I've been working for the last 8 years in cybersecurity. And I've been working specifically in cyber threat intelligence and seeing what's been happening with threat actors that are attacking various ecosystems. And with the rise of the blockchain, with the rise of so many blockchains, we've really seen growth in a lot of malicious activity directed toward the blockchains, and in particular, decentralized finance. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Chainalysis, which is a research entity that has been tracking a lot of the cyber criminal activity in the blockchain area. But they noted a 500+% increase in attacks against the blockchain ecosystems between 2020 and 2021. So there is significant data out there, and there were about $14 billion of losses in the blockchains during that time period. So, you know, this is a significant problem. And so what I am proposing in this proposal is to stand up what we call a cyber threat intelligence platform. We call it a threat intelligence platform, or a TIP. There's an open source TIP that we would download, stand up on an AWS instance, and then train and develop training for members of the community, so that when we are kind of engaging in our day-to-day activities, you know, picking up email or logging into our cell phones or whatever we're doing, when we're engaging and we see something suspicious, we can bring it to the threat intel platform, share it with folks, and then we can then begin to aggregate suspicious looking data and then do research on that. I am a cyber threat analyst, and so and a lot of the tools that I use help to correlate the suspicious activity with what we already know about specific threat actors. So so that's what a tip does. It shows you those correlations and gives you presentation graphics and all of that. So I know it's a little bit sort of on the side of what people are marginal with what people are mostly working on in this community. Most people are really looking forward at building something new and fresh. But while we're doing this, I want to make sure that we're protecting ourselves and each other. So that's basically my proposal. I invite you to look at it.
That is pretty amazing, and I think it's quite important. I'm just looking at the proposal, and I will have a look more deeply after that, because it is such an important question to raise. Yeah, thank you for sharing. That's very impressive.
See, Lucy has her hand up.
Yeah, I just have a quick question. So I was looking at the proposal, and it seems like you guys do have a lot of experience, and a lot of that experience is in Web 3. I mean, I'm sorry, Web 2. But, as you know, Web 3 is just a little bit different. But so for this proposal, would it be targeted towards Web 3 technology or more towards Web 2 technology?
Well, a lot of the, from what I've been able to tell in the Cardano ecosystem, a lot of the dApps have been built with security baked in from the beginning. So it's my observation that with Marlowe or with Plutus or with the Shelley mainnet, et cetera, that we're already in the Web3 context operating in a secure system. But all of the individuals that are accessing these dApps and DAOs and tools via Web 2 infrastructure. And so there are very significant types of vulnerabilities associated with that interface. And so that's really where we would be looking at trying to identify some of the,
So that's a really great point that you bring up, simply because right now these NFT system or the NFT ecosystem is so vibrant. While the rest of the world is burning, the NFT system is still going, and it's very, like, a lot of people are still buying NFTs. The issue that we have in that ecosystem is that there are a lot of scams, and the scams are exactly as you described. It is through other, like the Web3 portal to, the Cardano ecosystem, or even like the Ethereum ecosystem. So, a lot of them have found little workarounds, such as phishing, of course, right? Looking at websites, making them look almost exactly like the official website, and then they connect their wallets that way. So, it's all these little things that a lot of people have lost hundreds of thousands of dollars and, crypto from these types of just security breaches in a way. But it is exactly as you described. It's through this Web 2 technology. And so I think that this would be a great project. I mean, a great proposal. And I think that it, just for a little word for food for thought, is that potentially kind of highlighting or kind of starting focusing on the NFT section or ecosystem, because that is a place where there's a lot of activity, a lot of scams, because it's so easy, because people assume it's safe, but then, it's not. So I would just kind of, I love the proposal. I'm definitely going to look and read it through, but just looking at it, reading it, I thought, this could be really good for that ecosystem, because, you know, it's only going to get more popular as time goes by. So yeah, congrats. This looks great. It's wonderful.
Yes, yes, awesome. And to come back again to Anaïs, Anna, do you have something else on the presentation? I see Shira also has a proposal that is related in social impact. So maybe you can share, maybe you can share and see if Anna can help. And I don't know if Shira is your proposal in under Cardashift's challenge?
Yeah,
It's in depth.
yeah, so two things, maybe just for introducing this, with Cardashift, we are at the moment holding a Catalyst native challenge. So you can find the Cardashift challenge in Catalyst right now, which is named the Demonstrating and Monetizing Impact. It's basically what I was saying is all research at the moment, like how you can valorize impact thanks to blockchain. And so we are asking the community if the community has some tools or some breaks of this process to propose. So this is our challenge. And thanks for sharing your proposal, Jane. It's really, really interesting. I think that as it's more technical one on the blockchain, it's really transverse on all the blockchain. I think that the cross-chain challenge is well adapted to it. But yes, it has clearly an impact on the social, the society, the people that are using the network. I think that it's better on this challenge whereas in all challenge, because the challenge is more about demonstrating impact and not having an impact on business. But yeah, great proposal. That would be great to have it, because I know also a lot of scam. This morning I had one, I was just checking it. If someone on Twitter DM you with this, okay, I will wipe scam also. Someone DM me with this website this morning and added me in a conversation in a community on Twitter, in a group.
Should we open the link?
Yeah, well, you can open its website. It's clearly, you can see on the website it's scam, but it's really well done. In fact, this website is beautiful, but it's saying that if you're sending an amount of ADA, you are receiving the double back. So I think it's clearly false. And I went checking the stake keys on Cardano scan, and yes, they are clearly false. And the transactions did not happen. So
Okay, so there are some techniques that some threat actors use, which is called watering hole, where they will if your browser is not completely updated and it has a vulnerability, and you go to a website, they can infect your machine. So those are the kinds of things that we want to be sharing with each other, and we want to share the technical telemetry. So if like, for example, it came in as a email to you, and what I would ask you to do is to give me the header information so that I can scrape that header information, and then I could start doing research on what that IP address is, what the host name is, what does it correlate to? Is there a reference to past malicious activity, and that kind of stuff. I see that Megan has put something in here. Oh yeah. So did you get it too, Megan? The same thing she was talking about?
On my
it's not that I got it. I've just seen the same format again and again of like, send money in, we'll send money back. But since it's blockchain, there's no way to get a refund.
Right.
Yeah, and those happen on like YouTube. They'll make a video kind of spoof it to where it looks like someone, the founder is actually looking through, I mean, talking through their YouTube channel, and they'll say things like, send us 1,000 ADA, we'll send you back 2,000 ADA. And you think it sounds too good to be true, but people still do it, you know, and I think there's no way either for YouTube to stop those types of videos. And that's where it's like, gets more difficult to control those types of scams, but it happens. Yeah, it happens every day.
Yeah.
Now that is this whole new technology called deepfake. And what's happening is the threat actors will take photographs, a series of photographs of, say, Charles Hoskinson, and they then are able to generate an artificial intelligence image of him, and then they overlay that image on top of a, you know, a video, maybe of someone else speaking, or I mean, there are a lot of different techniques for doing it, but that's a very sophisticated scam that we're seeing. But I'll disclose this here. I have a website listed in my proposal, which is where I am suggesting that we stand up the web interface for this portal, this online portal. And just the 26th, I started getting attacked. That website is already standing up. It's a live website. And it started getting attacked about every 4 minutes by a botnet that is known, has been known in the intelligence and cybersecurity community since 2017 for brute force. It's a brute force attack. So they were obviously trying to get in, trying to escalate privileges, I expect. They were trying to implant themselves inside that website so that if we, the community, do stand up a portal, they would then have access to it. So this is another common technique. But oh, right. Okay, so Megan is also adding something else here in the chat. Yeah. Oh, right. Okay, this was about the deep fakes. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna jump off, and great to meet you guys, and look forward to hearing more about what you guys are doing with Cardashift. And
thanks.
Bye.
Congrats for your proposal and good luck. And I have to go also. I have another meeting. I'm 1 minute late already. So bye bye everyone.
Thank you, for sharing. Yes, for sharing.
Bye. Is it a way that you guys, do y'all have Twitter? Yeah. So I can follow you guys on Twitter?
Yeah. Okay, so the Twitter of Cardashift is this one.
And just to not forget that Shira sent a proposal. I just want to highlight that because it is on the social impact, it's social impact oriented. I don't know, Shira, if you have any questions. So, Anna.
No, I realize now it's a different challenge. I have to take a look at that challenge.
Okay.
Oh yes. Okay, sorry, I didn't see your proposal. I can go to it. But sorry, I was commenting on the other. Hi. I will go check it. Okay.
Yes.
But
go. I realize I know it's like to be late to meetings, so I'm the challenge.
Thanks a bunch. Bye, girls. Bye, ladies.
Bye.
Thanks for hosting this and for inviting me.
Thanks.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye.